In this video, we're going to be covering step 4 of this 10-step process, where you're going to learn how to build and validate the perfect offer to attract local clients. In the last video, we covered how to do market research so you can start putting together the best idea of what you think your clients want or your prospects want. And we basically covered that we don't want to take a guess. We don't want to say, I think they want this. We want to say, I am studying what they want, and then I'm putting together, based off of tangible research, what it looks like they want. Now that we have an idea of what we actually want to pitch them, now we need to actually validate. So this is a very commonly missed step. I see this all the time where people go, okay, I think I know what they want, either because I'm guessing, or maybe I did step 3 and I essentially did my market research. I did my competitor analysis. I spoke to people in the space that I want to work in, and now I know. And then they jump this step. They go from step 3, which is doing your research. They go straight to step 5 and they start building out their websites and their funnels and their digital presence. Slow down. Before we build up your digital presence around the offer, let's make sure that what you've put together is something that they actually want to see. That's something that they will actually give you money for. And so in this process, in this step, in this training that we're about to cover, you're going to see that after we've put it together, we're going to start building some loose copy, and then we're going to start pitching it in terms of like access to this offer by basically doing what we need to do to close. So you're going to see there's going to be downsells, there's going to be waiving of fees, there's going to be promotions, but we're essentially just trying to validate the offer. If you don't know what validate the offer means, here's what it means, plain and simple. You have an idea of what they want. We need to make sure that's what they want. We don't want them to say, oh, I like that idea. We want them to instead say, here's money for this idea, for this offer. So if somebody tells you that's a great idea, it could just be lip service. They could just be telling you that just to be nice. But if somebody's saying, hey, here's actual money I want in, now you know, okay, I'm on to something, okay? So that is the goal. We want to validate your offer before we launch the digital presence. We do not want to enter the market with an invalidated offer unless you like wasting time and money. If you enter the market with an offer that people really don't want too much, you haven't validated it, you haven't really nailed it down, you haven't really locked in the offer that people want, what's going to happen is that you are going to notice lower conversion rates than you should have. You're going to have to push your offer more than you would like to, and you're going to have to reduce your cost more than you should. So let's pay attention to this training to make sure that the research you did is now truly applied in a way where people want to give you money. So step 1, we need to identify problems using the reverse tried and marketed audit. Now, if you're in thesis University, you know you already have access to an entire Google Sheet with multiple tabs, 3 tabs, one for your competitor, avatar, and market analysis. If you are not in thesis University, just go to the previous training. I give you some ideas of how to do that. You essentially just want to make sure that you have a good idea of what your competitors are doing and what the market wants. By now, again, assuming that you did step 3 before step 4, you may have some ideas of what to offer and how to position it. That's what we're going to be covering. So now we want to create some thesis points upon which we will build our offer. Basically, if you don't know what a thesis point is, it's like the main sentence in an article. It's the main sentence in a piece of writing that basically says, here's the idea summarized into a single sentence, into a single point. Basically, it's an elevator pitch. So when you have those really short, concise elevator pitches, we can rapidly test them and we can see which one the market likes the most. And the idea is, based on your research, you're going to have multiple markets, or rather, you're going to have multiple claims to share with the market, and whichever one resonates with them most is going to be your leading one that we're going to build your digital presence on in the next training, step 5. So next, step 2, within this process, we want to record the direct and indirect benefits of the solution. So once you have an idea of what these people want or don't want, you need to examine and write down both the direct and indirect benefits that your core offer provides. Now, while the core offer will drive the claim in the sales process, the benefits will provide content into the desired dream state of the avatar or the prospective client, the prospect, right? So we need to understand what the benefits are doing if we want to truly understand how this helps our client. And we do this to force the client to visualize the positive impact of working with us. So here are some things that I want you to do. And you're going to see, usually in the previous trainings, I say, hey, action item, action item, action item. You're going to see here, there's going to be some smaller action items that you can do alongside it. So if you want to pause the video and fill them out, write them on a piece of paper, put them in a Google Doc, that's perfectly fine. But you're going to see I'm going to outline some of these. And again, if you want to copy this so you don't have to like pause and go through every time, you can kind of follow it at your own pace. Just check the pin post at Alec J. Roy on Facebook and Instagram. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this, why am I giving this away for completely free? Why am I giving you a streamlined version of my full process? It's because I'm trying to do three things, okay? Number one, I'm trying to grow my online business. I'm trying to grow my online brand. I'm trying to grow my online presence, because if I can do that, then I can get, number two, more eyeballs on this content, which means more people will naturally go through my funnel. And the idea is that if this free stuff helps you, and I'm talking to you, not the other people, I'm talking to you. If this free stuff helps you, then you might think, okay, well, what if I worked with him in a group setting? What if I worked with him one-on-one? What if I had him help me in my business? What kind of results could I get, or how much faster could I get those results? So that's what I'm trying to do. And then number three, let's say you never work with me, you never pay me, that's perfectly fine. I'm putting it on YouTube so I can monetize YouTube down the road, and then YouTube can pay me. You don't have to pay me, and I get my views. So you get free content, I get my views, and I get paid. And we let YouTube do the stuff that you don't want to do, which is paying me. If you're upset that I'm trying to get monetized on YouTube, if you're upset that there was maybe an ad before this and you had to click skip ad, let me know. I'll send a list of local therapists and maybe they can help you out. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. So we're doing this to force the client to visualize the positive impact of working with us. So anytime that you're working with a business, you need to understand that your impact needs to directly impact the bottom line. You're not saying I work with local businesses to grow their online presence, to grow their brand. I'm not saying you need to work with businesses to help them run ads. Those are delivery mechanisms to what? To getting them more money. Remember in the previous training, you need to help increase their bottom line, whether that's making them more money, saving them by cutting down on expenses. But the end goal is impacting the bottom line so they can achieve the golden standard, right? They want to automate their business, expand their business, or they want to exit their business. That's the golden standard for these business owners, right? So how do we outline the benefits? This is just 7 bullet points that you can use. So you can say, what would the direct and indirect benefits of your solution provide them? With your solution, how would their life change inside and outside of work? So maybe life is easier in work, which means when you go home, you can sleep better. You're not stressed. You're not having to work another job to make money, right? Number 3, what becomes faster, better, easier when they're using your solution, right? If your solution is not making their life faster, better, and easier, not or faster, better, and easier, then the solution doesn't make sense, right? And if you're trying to force them into it, then you're missing the point of what I'm trying to show you, which is don't force them into what you want, rather build what they need and they're going to pay for it, right? We covered that in the previous training. What headaches, bottlenecks, or pain points does your solution obliterate? So when something is made faster, better, easier, it's doing that by circumnavigating or addressing headaches, bottlenecks, pain points. So when you hear all these entrepreneurs and all these marketing generalists tell you things like, oh, well, if you want to make money, address pain points, address bottlenecks. That's really great general advice from someone who's never done it before. You need to actually understand the industry. They will tell you these are the points that we're stuck at, or they will tell you here are the symptoms. You do some deep digging to understand that symptom is being caused or it is an effect of this causation. And then you obliterate that causation. You obliterate that headache, bottleneck, pain point. Number 5, what does their life look like in 6, 12, 36 months after using your solution? So if you're working with me, let's say you're a physical trainer. If you don't have any results in 6 months, that might not be great. That's probably not good if you haven't lost any weight or if you haven't gained any muscle. On the other hand, if you're a physical trainer and you're doing rehab with somebody, you may want to let them know, hey, look, in 6 months, this is the difference it makes. Now, it's a very small difference, but this is going to add up and add up and add up. And the idea is, depending on how severe rehab is or how serious the injury was and how long rehab will take, the goal is let's get you walking by 36 months or let's get you standing up out of a squatted position in 12 months. So you need to make sure that your solution has a timetable as to where they should expect results. And you need to make sure it's realistic. So if you're doing SEO, you can't say, oh, we're going to get you ranked number 1 in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months. No, you can say, listen, you're not going to start seeing cash flow come from SEO until 6 to 12 months, depending on your location, depending on your competition, depending on how many of your competitors are doing SEO themselves. But these are natural time frames. These are natural, expectations to have within 6, 12, 36 months, if that makes sense. Number 6, how does your solution improve their bottom line? This is what I was saying earlier. Everything B2B needs to be about increasing their bottom line. You're either making them more money because you're putting more revenue in, or you're helping them keep more money, increasing profits because revenue is pretty stable. Maybe there's a little up or down, but profits are increasing because expenses are decreasing, and your software or your solution is helping them decrease the costs, right? And number 7, how does your solution improve their work culture, their team's quality of life? So for example, if you're using high level and you're saying, hey, we have this streamlined CRM, that's going to make your team much happier because you have one central location. Everybody keeps track of where people are in the pipeline, and that's going to make everybody much happier because now there's less confusion, there's less arguing because of the confusion, everybody gets along much better, right? So these are just very quick examples, but you need to outline the benefits of what you're doing. If you have no benefits, here's how we're going to figure them out. It's called the 5 whys. Now, this is a project management tool. It's also some Six Sigma practices if you're familiar, but we call this the 5 whys, right? The concept refers to starting with a benefit or a problem and asking why, literally just why. You'll see I call it the toddler effect, until you reach the core benefit or root problem. Now, if you feel stuck providing clear solutions or benefits, then this method is going to help you identify the core concept that you need to address. Like I said, channel your inner toddler. I'll show you. I suggest even mapping out the process of the 5 whys to later use in your sales process and content to connect the dots. Because as you will see when we get to the education portion, or excuse me, as you'll see as we get to the sales portion, education is key in sales. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a training that we have in this series. So for example, someone says, I want a website. Now, and let me back up a little bit. The 5 whys, it doesn't have to be 5. It's not like, I hit my limit. Alex said 5 whys, I can't do 6. The point is to keep asking why until you get to the root cause of what it does. So for example, some people will say, why sell websites? And I'll ask them why. Well, clients need them. Why? Well, every business has a website. You need a website. Why? Well, a website will get me clients. Why? Well, I really just want to keep old clients while getting new ones. Okay, cool. So you thought the delivery mechanism was a website, when in reality, this is what you're trying to accomplish. Now, because your intention is that you want to keep old clients while getting new ones, yes, the website's important, but we really want to optimize the website for conversion. So that way in the back end, we can track everybody using our CRM, using the pipelines, using the opportunities, using automations, using nurture sequences. So now what they realize is the website being the front end is really just something that helps them increase their rankings and collect information, which we then push to offers. So again, people will say, well, I need a website. And you may be thinking, well, I want to sell websites. Why do you want to sell websites? Well, in reality, what are you trying to accomplish? And that's where the 5 whys comes into place. And you'll see this when we go to sales conversations where a client will say, I want you to run PPC campaigns. And we covered this in the previous trainings, right? Well, why do you want me to run that? Well, I want to run ads. Why do you want to run ads? Because I want to get clients. Why do you want to get clients? Because I want to get money. Okay, so if your focus is increasing cash flow, here's the more effective way of doing those things, right? And so in correcting them gently by showing them a better way, that is going to help position you as more of an expert. Now, you want to repeat this process to understand where your focus lies. If you do it properly, you will find that your reasoning should rely on acquiring clients and keeping them happy, acquiring quality talent and keeping them happy, improving your work-life balance, increasing your revenue and profitability, and accomplishing any mission that you may have. And that's really big for your nonprofits, but a lot of people have mission statements with their local service-based businesses, right? Now, ultimately, if you work with businesses, then your offer needs to improve their bottom line in a way that leads to the golden standard. Automate, expand, and or exit, okay? That is the end goal. If you're starting a business right now and somebody came along and said, hey, I love what you're doing, let me help automate this so you can make passive income, right? That's how most people find a high level. It's like, well, I want to make passive income and monthly recurring revenue is the easiest way. Cool. So for you, your golden standard is automating cash flow coming in, right? Maybe you want to expand it. So maybe you're like, I want franchises. I want more offers and more spaces and more verticals, right? Maybe you want to exit it. Hey, I grew this big business and I'm ready to sell it off, right? That's Alex Hormozi's whole thing where he does the acquisition.com. And just like Alex Hormozi has his free course, his free content, where he's saying, hey, I'm putting this out so that when you get to the level that you're ready to work with me, come and work with me. That's the exact same reason I'm trying to put out as much value as I'm trying to put out. I'm trying to show you all this stuff so that you can see, okay, Alec is not gatekeeping his free course like other people are. He's not saying I have to use his affiliate link to get this up. I'm putting it straight on YouTube so that way you can see this. If you like my style, maybe one day we'll work together, or at least I'll get my views and you don't have to pay me because YouTube will. And if you don't like my style, at least you can see me and you can say, okay, that guy's a loser. I don't really want to work with him. And there you go. I just saved you time and money, right? So moving on, step 3, create your antithetical claim relative to the market. Now, I coined the term antithetical claim, but I did not create antithetical or polarizing positioning. And I'll give you some examples. Now that we have the offer and your details mapped out, so you know what you want to do, you understand the 5 whys, the benefits of everything, you've connected it to the 7 bullet points that I mentioned up here. Now what you want to do is you want to start creating claims using these market claims that are going to help position yourself in the market. So a claim refers to a statement that you can make about your industry. An antithetical claim refers to a claim that opposes mainstream thought. So I'll show you. Simply put, old current method is bad, the new method is good, and I am an expert on the new method. That's it. And if you're like still a little lost, I'm going to give you prime examples of big companies doing this. Number one that most everybody knows is Scrub Daddy. If you look at Scrub Daddy, go look at their early marketing campaigns, not this nice stuff they're doing now. Go look at their early marketing campaigns. It was sponges are awful. They don't work right. They stink. Old way, current way, sponges are bad. Instead, you need Scrub Daddies. And Scrub Daddies are so different that it's good. So when they are different, the people who are frustrated with the current methods, they want something different. So when they make something different, whether it's good or bad, people automatically are drawn to it because of the simple fact that it's different. It's like when you, let's say someone breaks up with you, you rebound, you go for somebody who's completely not your type. You just want something different, right? Same exact thing. So and that's not the only example, by the way. If you look at old, current, bad, new method, good, if anything that's a polarizing statement, these big companies do this all the time. I have just never seen somebody teaching it. Now, somebody could be teaching it. I'm not saying that I'm the ultimate marketing guru and I know everything and I'm telling you things that no one else has ever told you. I just haven't seen it. So if you've seen it, let me know, tag them below because I'd love to see the people talking on it. But this is what these big companies do. So when you're trying to make space in an industry, you have to kind of push people around away from the area that you want to dominate. So Scrub Daddy did it. Look at Liver King before he outed himself as using steroids. What was he doing? Height of COVID, all these gym bros coming out using the science method. Well, here's the exact degree that you want to have your elbow at to use the fulcrum of leverage, and that's going to help you. And Liver King came out and was like, get out of the gym, stop doing this, math, nerdy stuff. You need to live like a primal. You need to have your 11 tenets. You need to go back and you need to, live like your ancestors did. And you need to eat bull testicles raw. And I wish I were joking, but that's what he did, right? And because it was so different from the mainstream thing, everybody went to him. Whether you like these people or not, these methods work. I'll give you one that most people love or hate. Look at Donald Trump. Anytime the man gets on a stage, it's look at Sleepy Joe Biden. He just basically says, these guys suck, I'm the best. Look at Ron DeSanctimonious. Look at me, I'm the best, right? He does that with absolutely everybody. And so it's very, very polarizing, which means you love them or you hate them. And that's how you essentially build your brand. I'm not saying go out there and make fun of, old people, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? Now, when you're completing the competitor analysis portion of your research, I want you to notice the evolution of your solution based on the market. So when you are looking at what your competitor's offering, and I told you in this previous training, keep what you like, get rid of what you dislike, and from there, you can position yourself against your competitors in any way, shape, or form. You don't need to be polar opposite. You just need to find something that you can position yourself against. Now, remember, let me clarify. You're not going to say, oh, look at John. John's a loser. I don't like how John does it. No. Instead, you're going to describe the things that you dislike about what they're offering. So you're not saying John's offer suck. You're just saying, hey, some people offer SEO for local source-based businesses. Here's the issue with that. We don't need SEO. We don't need you ranking for these random searches. Instead, we need you ranking in the map pack because that's where people go to shop. So we need to focus, instead of on SEO, we need to focus strictly on local SEO and the map pack. Here's why. Whether you agree with that or not, the simple fact that I'm saying this way is bad and this way is good is going to attract people who've been burned by SEO agencies or people who follow the logic and they agree with it. Now, I'm not saying lie. I'm just saying if you have a preference or a certain perspective, other people will either A, completely disagree with you, or B, completely agree with you. And that's going to help you land yourself in an opening in the market, okay? This is overkill for you if you're starting out, yes. But I want you to start out, and I want you to start out strong, and I want you to start out with marketing claims that really resonate with people. So for example, you're looking at your competitors, you see an opening in the market, that's where you're going to position yourself. So just like you're not going to offer people things they don't want, you should not come in making claims that just overlap you with your competitors. Your Scrub Daddy knew they couldn't come in and just make a sponge. They saw an opening in the market. Sponges don't work the way we want them to. So let's build a product that fits that problem. What they're not doing is what all these other generalists tell you to do. And I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying the generalist marketers. What they tell you to do is solve a problem. You'll make money. So, there's so much value that you're providing. I covered this in another training where I said, listen, you know how valuable gasoline is to the American economy? But when you go to the pump, they're price wars by pennies. It's 363 here, it's 362 here, it's 359 down the road. Why? If gasoline's so valuable? Because you have everybody providing the exact same thing. Even if you're providing the exact same thing, you need to position yourself opposite to create perceived value. That's how we start getting in branding. So let's look at some variations to really have rubber meet the road. So you can say, hey, outdated model doesn't work. SEO doesn't work. Excuse me. SEO doesn't work because we don't need to rank across the United States. Instead, you need local SEO. Stop running paid ads as a beginner. Instead, start with organic social media. That's my thing, right? We help target a subsegment of niche, achieve goal without mainstream methods. We help lawn care agencies increase their monthly or weekly clients without running a single ad. Target goal in time without perceived risk. This is a really big Hormozy one, right? Lose 15 pounds in 4 weeks without going to the gym, right? And I'm trying to use different analogies or different industries, right? Learn how we made $11,000 using a database reactivation in 2024. That's a nice one because if you're saying, hey, we did this in 2024, you're showing that it's very new. It's the future, right? It's the exact same reason why people will sell their 2023 Toyota to get a 2024 Toyota. It's the exact same reason why people will buy a brand new iPhone every year, right? Click to learn how we target goal in your target niche without risk. Click to learn how we, let's say, made $8,000 for a pressure washer without, door-to-door knocking, right? And I have a student who actually did that. It's actually a really cool one. And then here, you can use this link to get inspiration. I'll click on it in just a second to create your own headline. But the goal should be to create a headline that promises a huge transformation. And then it provides something so insanely valuable that people are hooked from the jump, right? And this is a Mr. Beast thing. This is not an Alec thing, right? So there's a whole list here. I've linked it in this training. If you want the training, check the pin post at Alec J. Roy on Facebook or Instagram. So again, what Mr. Beast basically says is first create a headline that you know people will click on, then you have to actually fulfill. So don't create content and then create the headline. Create a crazy headline, then fulfill with the content. And that's how you're going to make really good content. That's how you're going to make really good offers. That's how you're going to make really enticing thumbnails. That's how you're going to make headlines, antithetical claims. That's how you're going to do anything that really catches people's attention. Don't build it, then name it. Name it based on your research, then build it. Now, step 4, this is going to be specific for you if you're in high level. Again, if you're in Zoho, if you're in WordPress and you're doing your own custom build, you can do this as well, but this is going to be very specific to high level. Now, this process is as simple as it seems. You want to create a test sub account to present. Regardless of your high level account, you have access to more than one sub account. I would use one account, I do this myself, as a test for mockups. This allows you to test new features as well as to create mockups to share in sales meetings, social media content, and anywhere that you essentially need a digital sandbox. So you can create a test sub account. You see I have a snapshot one for my students, and then I have a test sub account. And basically what you do is you use the test account in your content creation because it allows you to test a feature, and then you can basically screen record and share that feature with the community. But even bigger, as that's going to help you create essentially status delta content. So that's basically content that shows you're above the market, basically positions you as an expert. It shows how you apply something. So this is going to be huge when you are in sales conversations, when you're trying to validate. So you have your offer, you can build out like a little website, some automations. And then when you go in a sales meeting or when you're making content, you can show, hey, here's all the things we can do. So that's going to be really big for validating, because if you can build it in a snapshot or in a sub account, then what you can do is you can show people. And then if people are interested in what you have to offer, that's going to help close them on the call where you present this, or you can make content and then you'll have people reaching out to you, right? This is something that a lot of SaaS companies struggle to do, or that omit altogether. So when I say struggle to do, what they'll say is they'll get a white label demo and they'll be like, oh, we do everything every other high level agency does. Go ahead and Google how many high level agencies there are. Go ahead and go to the official high level group and look at how many people there are. Go to the, there's a Facebook group where you can find VAs for high level. Go look at how many people there are in those groups. If you're just white labeling and saying we do the same thing everybody else is doing, you're not going to separate yourself. That's the whole point of this training, to understand how to build antithetical claims, to polarize your positioning in the market so you can rapidly take a portion of it. And you don't need a big portion. You just need to position yourself rapidly to start taking in numbers. So when you create your snapshot around your offer specifically, or when you're creating mockups around your offer specifically, you're not only saying, hey, we have something that's extremely enticing. Here's what it actually looks like in action. And that's going to help with your conversion rate. Now, next, you want to line up discovery sales calls where you present the test account. And if you're wondering, well, how do I do that? Do you have scripts for me? Yes, I have scripts for you in this training right now. I just want you to understand the process, okay? Your focus needs to target your first 4 to 6K a month, okay? I don't know why. With all of my students, I have found that most are ready to automate, delegate, and outsource a lot of their business processes, a lot of their day-to-day work at that mark. It's been like, I've had people who have several clients to that mark. I've had people, and you can see the examples below, right? I've had people who have 5 clients at $997, 17 clients at $297, 50 clients at $97. It never fails that once they hit the 4 to 6K mark, they say, okay, hey, Alec, I'm ready to automate with VAs, with additional software, with, automated processes, right? Now, remember, once you transition and you have them doing the majority of the work, them being your system and your VAs, then you have much more time in your day. You just freed up a lot of your time because now you're not doing the day-to-day stuff. Now you can actually focus on bigger picture items. You're still managing the day-to-day because you're doing quality assurance, but that takes about 15 to 60 minutes a day. I know because that's what I do. From there, when you're able to switch over, now your results can compound because now you just freed up so much more of your time, right? And again, the goal is violence of action while you are collecting honest feedback. So when you're going through this, when you are creating your claims, when you're creating, let me back up. When you're putting your offer together, when you're creating your claims, when you're creating your sub account and you're creating your mockup, you're going to be testing this with people. You're going to be asking people how they feel about it. You're going to be asking people what they think. If you just want to protect your feelings and you want people to say, oh, this is so nice. Good job. You put in the effort. I don't want it. It's a pile of dog doo-doo, but you got it. It's so good. If you want people to stroke your ego, I'm just letting you know right now, flattery is going to feed your ego. It's not going to fuel success. You need feedback. Now, can feedback be positive? Yes. But if you're just looking for flattery, if you're trying to protect your feelings, I have bad news for you. In the game of entrepreneurship, in the game of owning your own business, you need feedback over flattery, okay? If you are wise, if you really want to make it in this game, you need to understand which matters more. If you want participation trophies, if you want your mommy and your daddy to tell you you did a great job because you tried and that's all that matters, this is not the space for you. I'm telling you right now. I'm not saying that to say, I'm tough, I can handle it. I'm not saying that to say you're weak, you can't handle it. I'm saying that to basically prepare you because sometimes you get some tough feedback on a website you think is beautiful and you're like, ugh, that hurt. So just be prepared. When they say those comments that kind of hurt a little bit, remember, I want the feedback. So then you start looking at the feedback in a different light, even the negative feedback. They go, hey, I really don't like this. This is really ugly. You go, okay, I need to start learning what they think is pretty. I need to start learning what they think is more visually appealing. I need to start learning what makes the process easier for them because you're not selling this to yourself. You're selling this to your clients. This is a big trend I see. These entrepreneurs, they get their head inflated because they pay themselves. Nobody else pays them. They pay themselves. They make their own money. And they go, well, I'm going to offer what I think. Well, if you don't like it, head out of here. What are you doing? You're, again, not valuing true feedback. Now, take it with a grain of salt because some people are just nasty, foul individuals who are never going to be pleased. So you'll learn how to make that discernment as you go, but starting out, listen to the feedback. Now, step 6, you want to pitch early access to digital solutions, your digital solution, and this is going to help you validate your price. It's going to help you validate your offer. It's going to help you validate your antithetical market claims. So during the sales process, and this happens during the DMs or on the sales calls, and I have a full sales training in this series that you're going to see very soon. It's coming up in the next couple of steps, but this is basically what you're going to cover, right? You want to understand their current state and core frustrations, right? You want to understand where they're trying to go. So you can see, you understand this is where you are, this is where you want to go. Next, you want to understand this is the gap between the two. So you're at 5K a month, you want to be at 10K a month. You're at 15K a month, you want to be at 50K a month. You are not profitable, you want to be profitable. Whatever that gap is, then instead of, this is where people mess up, they'll jump and say, my solution does that, I can do that, I can do that. Slow down, bucko. Instead, you need to say, okay, what have you tried in the past to bridge this gap? So they'll say things like, well, I tried hiring an SEO agency. I tried doing it myself. You want to understand what they've tried in the past. And this does two things. Number one, they are going to understand that they can't do it on their own. But number two, they're going to tell you, hey, I didn't like SEO. So it would be really awkward if they said, I don't like SEO. And then you immediately said, well, we're going to do SEO. Instead, you can say, hey, you don't like SEO? Did they do this, this, and this? Okay, cool. Well, we don't do SEO. We do local SEO. Here's what makes a difference. Now, am I being a little nuanced? Am I playing semantics a little bit? Yes, but that's going to be very, very important when you separate yourself. Now, when starting out, your meeting should focus more on validating or pivoting your offer. So if they're telling you that they don't like this or they don't like that, you need to remain humble enough and open enough to adjust what you're offering before you standardize and productize your solution, okay? Otherwise, you're gonna end up doing double the work and you're gonna be trying to push a product that people don't really like, right? So during those calls, you need to stay flexible, yet focused on doing what you need to close without sacrificing too much. So for example, you should not be eating costs and losing money on leads when starting out, but you also can't be expecting the world. You can't be expecting to charge what I charge or even what your peer charges that's maybe 5-6 months ahead of you. You can't, okay? Ideally, your offer you would offer enticing deals to land your first 5 to 50 clients. Why? Because at that mark I showed you above, you can hit 4 to 6 clients or you can hit 4 to 6K per month or raise enough capital to kickstart with VA. So for example, you can offer lifetime deals. So what I would like to do, and I have another training I can link on this, but you can do lifetime deals where you say, hey, the first, let's say 3 clients that sign up, you get the whole access to the whole software. I'll set the whole thing up and you only get it for 2K. So once you work with me for longer than 10 months, you're going to start making your money back where everybody else is spending. So then you'll get a list of 10 to 20 people. You activate that list. They're not all going to confirm. You'll be lucky if you get maybe 3 or 6 out of that. Maybe you get the full 20 and you raise a ton of money, right? You raise 40K. But just getting that list of 10 to 20 people interested, then saying lifetime deal is going to get you a little capital to kickstart. What I did was I said, hey, I'm waiving the setup fee free for 30 days. So that gets them on board. And then at the end of the 30 days, if they like it, they start paying. If they don't like it, this is another reason I like using high level. I take that sub account and I recycle it into the next customer. And all I have to do is change the variable fields. I don't have to change the whole website, right? Another reason why we like niching down. Another thing you can do is you can have a reduced price. You can say, listen, I'm very new. I don't have any clients yet, or I have less than 5-10 clients. Because I have few clients, I'm offering, instead of it being $9.97 a month, I'm offering this at $4.97 a month. Instead of this being $3.97 a month, I'm offering this at $1.97 a month. So you're essentially reducing your prices to get people on board to hit that 4 to 6K cash month mark, right? And that covers the next piece I said where you have the first month free, right? Now, my recommendation is don't go in there saying, oh, it's free, it's free, it's free. What I would say is go in there with a full price. Like, okay, it's $24.97 to set up and then it's $2.97 a month after that, right? And then when people give you a little pushback, you can then drop the setup fee and you can drop the first month, basically doing what you need to do to close without doing it for 100% free, right? Because again, you want to have barriers to, or I'd say not barriers, you want to have boundaries put in place so you're not getting taken advantage of, right? But again, remember, when you're starting out, you need to focus on getting cash flow and case studies. So as you're getting those first 5 to 50 clients, the idea is that your offer, because you did your research and because you're listening to their feedback, is being perfected and working. And then as you check in with your clients tell you, hey, we like this. And then you ask, cool, are you getting results? And you can see the back end already because you have all the analytics. And as they're getting results, you can then put together case studies, which you can then use to market to other clients. And at that point, you then would drop these things and you then don't have to reduce your pricing at all, right? Again, if you claw your way there, if you claw your way to your first 5 to 50 clients, depending on your pricing, if you claw your way to your first case study, everything else falls into place much, much, much faster. If you come out the gate saying, well, I have no results and I have no clients, but I'm charging my full rate and you better take it or not, it's going to be a little bit slower. Do you have to do it my way? Absolutely not. But I'm trying to show you the fastest possible way to validate the perfect offer to attract local clients, okay? And yes, of course, I understand that you're going to be underpricing your services up front. But again, until you have cash flow and proof of concept, you got to put that ego to the side and you got to do the work. Again, if you go to college, I'm not saying college is bad. I went to college. I had to pay to go to college. If you do it the way I'm showing you to do this, you are going to get paid to learn as you go. Not what you're worth, but you're not even worth that yet. When people say charge your worth, if you have no case study, no clients, what's your worth? Your worth is nothing, right? You can build that worth, but this is how you do it. Action items. Here are your assignments for this training. I covered them a little bit, but I want to cover them again. Number 1, create a list of items that you want to offer based on your research from the last video, or start with the offer I gave you in the last video. Number 2, record the benefits using the 5, this is 5, not ways. If I could, that's that army literature for you. Using the 5 whys to create starter copy. Number 3, create your antithetical or polarizing claims that you will use to create curiosity around your offer. Number 4, create a test sub-account or mockups using website and automation templates from high level, which you can build extremely quickly. And all you have to do is look at the research of what your competitors are offering and what the market has, and just use those templates. You could literally create that within, I'd say, 15 to 30 minutes maximum. Number 5, you want to start reaching out in groups, DMs, cold calls. Reach out to people in your network anything to get a meeting to see how your offer resonates. Now, if you know me, I'm not a big fan of doing anything besides social media, but I'm saying these things because you are offering something so enticing, so undervalued, so underpriced. What's not undervalued, but you're essentially underpricing for how much value you have, that it's going to be more likely to get somebody to hop on a meeting with you, right? Then from there, you need to do what you can to close so you can get to your first 5 to 50 clients and your first case study that will then turn into actual long form content, which again, we cover in the series because I'm not holding a thing back. So if you want this entire process in this series, by the way, this whole series I'm talking about, I'm going to give you a full cold DM course, 100% free. I'm going to give you a full sales meeting script with a list of objections to handle, absolutely free. I don't know why I'm giving this much value. I do know why, but I don't know why I'm giving as much value as I am, because I could give way less like everybody else does and still have people coming in the pipeline. But I'm giving insane amounts of volume because, again, I'm trying to do 3 things. I'm trying to grow my online brand and presence so that number 2, I get more eyeballs on it like you. And when this helps you solve, not if, when this helps you solve problems in your business, you think, what would it be like working with Alec directly? What kind of benefits would I get? Which I'm going to cover in just a second. And number 3, even if you never work with me a day in your life, you get this free content, which helps you. I get views, so YouTube pays me, which means you don't have to pay me. And it's a win-win all the way around. If you're the type of person that's upset that I'm trying to monetize this and you don't like clicking a button that says skip ad after 5 seconds, let me know. I'll send you a list of therapists for anger management, or maybe I'll just give you a reality check, but I can't help you at that point. So again, if you want the full training 100% free, pinned post at Alec J. Roy, Facebook or Instagram, hit me up. I will reply to absolutely everybody that DMs me myself, not a virtual assistant. If you have any questions as you go, comment them below. Now, if you want to, you can comment below, I'll respond, and you can do this alone. It's a little challenging. I'll say it's extremely challenging. Or you can work with me. Now, if you work with me, we're going to get you these results faster and we're going to get them quicker than if you were to do it alone. Now, you can always, like I said, do this alone, but with me, we're going to get your case studies faster. You're going to have higher quality case studies. You're going to get the exact script frameworks for your social media content, DMs, sales calls. You're going to be able to create a protocol that allows you to scale up without losing your clients, your previous clients, right? Because monthly recurring revenue only works if you get more clients and keep the previous ones, right? Now, let's say you want to join SES University. It's 100% free as my high-level affiliate. Or if you don't want to use high-level, maybe you're maxed out, you can pay directly monthly. It's $97 a month. I will guide you. As soon as you sign up, you're going to get an email from me. We schedule a one-on-one onboarding call immediately. Just me, just you, 45 to 60 minutes, where we cover exactly what's going on and give you an action plan. You're also going to get access to my full antithetical market offer. So you get this training right here is a streamlined version. You're going to get a full version with tons of extra context, tons of extra content, documents, sheets, and everything. So that way you can learn how to do this. You get free website and funnel reviews. So you send your funnel or website to me in my group. I review it, send you a video right back. You get immediate access to free trainings that are covering client acquisition, scaling, fulfillment, optimization, and much more. We have 2 90-minute group coaching calls, which usually spill over into 2, sometimes 3 hours every single week, where I kickstart by answering every question you have. Then I cover content. So right now in the month of April, we're covering how to use VAs to scale your team. Previous months, we covered sales calls. We cover content on short and long form. So we rotate every single month. You're going to learn how to streamline and automate businesses using 6 Sigma practices tailored to local service-based businesses. This is the actual say-so process. That name comes from simplify, automate, scale, optimize, the exact 4-step cyclical process that I adapted to local service-based businesses. We have a local SEO professional in our group, and he drops courses monthly. So that way you don't have to buy another course. It's part of this. Again, free if you're an affiliate. And 2 more crazy things. I have an agency snapshot. So all you have to do is tailor the funnel and the automations to your business. And I got so much stuff, I'm out of breath, guys. And we got 20 snapshots in the pipeline that are industry specific. So for plumbers, painters, mechanics, lawyers, doctors, 20 industry specific snapshots in the pipeline, which means every single month I will be dropping one. You tell me what you like. You tell me what you don't like. We improve it. We re-release it. That is how serious I am about you winning, because if you win, then you pay for your software or you pay for your membership every month. Then I win. So I have to have you win if I want to win. And I'm very, very transparent. I try to be as transparent as possible. I know people are sick of the make money online guys, and they're like, well, what's in it for you? I'm just super, super blunt because it's really hard to remember lies like a lot of my competition does. So I just decided I'm going to be as honest as humanly possible, to the point where maybe it rubs people the wrong way. So I try to be as honest as possible. So hopefully this helps. In the next video, we're going to be covering step 5, where you learn how to create an agency level funnel and the exact agency funnel layout that I use, the exact automations that I use, and I will break it all down for you in the next video. If you have any questions, comment below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.